Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And what a beautiful morning it is this morning. Message from Amanda. She says, Morning, Ginge. Wednesday's weather, a nice day with plenty of sunshine, highs of 25 degrees. It will feel like 29. Enjoy the day. And what a fantastic day it is looking at the moment. Thank you for all those people who've been getting in touch. Quick shout to Julie White, who just sent me a message literally 5 seconds ago concerning TUI cancelling holidays up until I think the 8th of June. I'll check on that for you, my lovely. One thing that Jane has said, because Jane used to work for TUI and was a TUI manager, sometimes it might be a cancellation of your flight, but there will still be flights going from other locations. Whether the TUI have cancelled all flights until the 8th of June, not sure at the moment, but that's something that we will have a look at. At the moment, we still really don't know what TUI are doing here in Zakynthos at the moment in regards when they are expecting to come. Don't forget, technically, we are in the amber, so technically flights can leave the UK if people are prepared to do 10 days quarantine once they return from their holiday. So once again, we'll look into that and I'll keep you posted if we hear anything. To be honest, looking around Silavie again yesterday, no sign of life in any of the TUI hotels, TUI Marizantis, TUI Blue. They all seem to be still shut up. No like work going on within them in like readying them or anything of that nature. So I think with people involved with those locations who are booked with TUI, I think it's all going to be a last minute open up job. So again, keep your ear close to the ground. I do know yesterday that there has been work going on in Planet, and Planet Apartments is obviously part of TUI as well. But anyway, you can see what the weather is like. I'm going to crack on with the news because I've got quite a bit to get through this morning as to regards what's going on here in Greece. Regards what's happening basically. Anyway, let's just quickly turn myself around. I can see comments already coming in from people. I'll turn myself around again. I've had a comment here from Peter Atkins. Boris said yesterday nobody could be travelling to amber countries for holidays. All right, cheers for that, fella. I haven't seen that myself this morning. So anyway, the news that I'm doing at the moment is probably going to maybe be a bit dated because I've come on so early. Right. COVID in the last 24 hours in Greece, just to let you know what the infections rates are like. Unfortunately, they're not looking too good at the moment. It looks like we've had a bit of an infection spike again. Yesterday, I did report to you 1,402 new infections across across Greece. Today, 2,812 new infections were recorded yesterday. 2 cases were detected after checks into the country. That was actually down on yesterday where we had 4 detected. Now, according to the national stats yesterday, there were 2 new cases in Macardo, 1 new case on Kefalonia, 36 new cases on Corfu, and Zakynthos on the national stats has shown 4 new cases. However, locally reported, we've not had any information from local reports to say that 4 positive cases have been found here on the island. Also, as well, when it comes to deaths at the moment across Greece, deaths, unfortunately, they have risen up slightly. Yesterday, I reported to you 56 new deaths. At the moment, today, I can report 63 new deaths. That brings the death toll now since the pandemic started to 11,534. The average age of those people passing away, 79 years of age, and 96% of those had underlying health conditions as well. When it comes to ICUs at the moment, that is down slightly. I did report to you 647 cases in ICUs across Greece. That is now down to 639 cases. 401 of those are male. 238 of those are female. Again, the average age of those people in ICUs is around about 68 years of age. 83% of those have underlying health conditions are over the age of 70. Now, when it comes to Zakynthos at the moment, figures were released yesterday about our COVID clinic here on Zakynthos. In fact, there's only one person in the COVID clinic. It's not been made clear if they're in the ICU section of it or just in the observation section of it. But at the moment, we only have one person in the COVID clinic. And that's actually good for us because we've had a drop from 14 people down to 1. So once again, we'll keep an eye on that. And there's more news coming out as well from the hospital as well. Right. So then the news today then. By the end of May, 5.6 million inoculations should have been given in Greece, with 35% of the population having received the first dose and around 20% the second dose. Now, interestingly, at the moment, 1/3 of the population of Zakynthos has been vaccinated, which is approximately around about 15,000 people. However, Greek authorities are still concerned about the Kent, South Africa and Indian virus variants and their increased transmissibility, especially after the scenes of crowds in city centres at weekends, with most totally ignoring the social distancing rules. Now, it has to be reminded that the use of masks remains mandatory in all areas outside the home, even in restaurants. And when not eating, only 3 people are allowed in a car unless family members. And the curfew strictly starts at 00:30 at midnight. Now, contravention of those rules, just to remind people here, it's a €300 fine. Police checks will continue to be intensified, especially regarding restaurants, as well as areas where lately there has been overcrowding and non-compliance with measures. So there again, people have been warned now. Interestingly, this was the news that I had yesterday. This was being touted in Greece that Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, was meeting with his ministers amid growing concerns at the spread of the Indian variant of the COVID virus within the country. Reports indicated that local lockdowns in the worst hit areas are on the table, and that so-called Freedom Day of June the 21st, when it was planned that all remaining restrictions were to be lifted in the UK, is now seriously in doubt, and it looks like those chickens are coming home to roost now, and I'll be keeping an eye on the situation there. One thing I forgot to actually mention just quickly at the beginning of my news broadcast, we do have one new flight flying in today. That's a Transavia flight, and that is flying in from Amsterdam. So we do have one flight in today on Wednesday. Right, okay. As I've already said, the Greek police now are stepping up inspections for health and safety violations following scenes of overcrowding last weekend and dozens of incidents of mask flouting at cafes and bars, not just in Zakynthos, but right across the country. Now, the inspections will focus on popular nightlife locations and other leisure spots. This is in the big cities and also the islands, in a bid to drill home the message that even though coronavirus cases may be easing and the COVID vaccination drive accelerating, there is no room for complacency. Now, according to a report published on Monday by the Hellenis police, more than 780 violations and 19 arrests were recorded between Friday and Sunday, the first weekend after the nighttime curfew was shifted from 11 p.m. to midnight, and the second since restaurants, cafes and bars were allowed to reopen. Now, the effect of the shorter curfew appears to have been instant, as crowds of unmasked men and women were reported across Athens, Thessaloniki, Patra, and also on several islands. And they've not mentioned Zakynthos there. But anyway, which started tourists on Friday. Well, we started ours technically on the Thursday. Anyway, the majority of the violations, the police said, was concerning mainly the failure to wear masks in public and or while on so wear masks in public and or exercise physical distancing as well. Anyway, more than 100 businesses were also slapped with hefty fines or shut down for violating regulations, which stipulate that they can only serve seated customers outdoors and must maintain a safe distance between tables and chairs. Now, to be honest, I've not heard of anybody having any problems here on the island of being fined or shut down, although sometimes the information for that is a bit slow to come out. But at the moment, yeah, the police are taking things very seriously indeed. Now, another interesting story that came out yesterday was that according to the infectious disease expert Gias Mansokratis and the National Kaspatrian University of Athens rector Thanos Diplos, both of whom are professors at the NKU School of Medicine, and said there is nothing to indicate that there is a mutation of SARS-CoV virus which is of Greek origin. There was talk that there might be a Greek variant of the COVID-19. However, these two experts are saying that there is nothing to suggest that there is. They said that in this case of the variant, which is the second most frequent variant detected in Greece in recent months, the two professors said it was first reported in Nigeria, but has already been detected in many other countries. On the GSAD platform, including United States, Belgium, Austria, Germany, Sweden, Finland, France, Luxembourg, blah, 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 blah. Consequently, they say there is no indication that this specific strain is of Greek origin or in any way peculiar to Greece. And there is no clear evidence indicating it is more transmissible, dangerous or less susceptible to vaccines, and it's not on the list of variants of concern. So at the moment, it looks like there is no Greek variant going out there. That's one thing we don't want, is a Greek variant, just to cause more hassle. They also said that they explained that the naming of the novel coronavirus variants is complex process, given the creation of mutations extremely frequent, and RNA venue viruses, even those with corrected mechanisms like SARS-CoV-2, when the process of mutation leads to a strain that spreads in the population and is significantly different either through the chance or because it has some advantages, this creates a new lineage that is named. So basically what they're saying is we can have COVID here. It could be the Nigerian, it could be the Indian, it could be the Kent variant. But unless some new variant that shows particular differences to those are identified and operates in a different way, then that variant would then be named whatever location it would be in as its kind of nickname of whatever it is. So anyway, that is kind of interesting that they're already talking here now of a Greek variant, and trust me, that is the last thing we want, is a Greek variant of COVID to just cause even more confusion and to basically scuttle our holiday season that we are technically now in. Right, now, some other good news. Lufthansa Group announced yesterday that demand for flights with Lufthansa and its subsidiary Eurowings to the Greek islands, the Balearic Islands and Italy has tripled in the last 7 days. Now, demand for tickets to US cities has also increased by 300%. The trend is mainly attributed to the progress of the vaccination campaign, but also the decision of the German government to lift the quarantine obligations for those from danger areas due to the pandemic. Anyway, Harry Homstead, the member of the group's board of directors, said people are longing for holidays, for cultural exchange, for reconnecting with relatives, friends and associates. In terms of Europe, Greece and the Balearic Islands are top of the demand, and Eurowings will add more than 500 additional flights from German airports to Greece, Mallorca and Ibiza. Anyway, indicatively, Lufthansa will fly directly to 12 tourist areas of Greece this summer, while Mr. Homstad said especially For some destinations in Spain, the demand already exceeds that of 2019. Lufthansa, according to him, is ready to welcome its customers again with greater flexibility in bookings and the possibility of changing them. So again, that sounds like some good news. We shall wait and see. The Germans are definitely coming, that is for sure. Anyway, another story not related to COVID. A 36-year-old suspect remanded for questioning as he tried to cross from Greece into Bulgaria with a forged document on Friday after last week's brutal murder of a young woman on the outskirts of Athens was placed under arrest Monday for multiple counts of burglary. The man, a Georgian national, has reportedly denied any part in last week's murder of a 20-year-old British Greek woman during a burglary in a home in a suburb of Athens. But investigators believed he may have been connected to the incident as they allegedly have DNA evidence putting him at the scene of another violent home violation earlier this year. He also has a record for a string of robberies in northern Greece in 2015. And according to the state-run Macedonia news agency, the 36-year-old suspect was found to be a match for biological forensic evidence collected at the scene of a violent robbery against an elderly couple in another remote suburb of Athens on March the 7th. Now, the perpetrator of that crime had tied up and beaten a 93-year-old husband, attacked his bedridden wife, hit their housekeeper for a few pieces of jewellery and 400 euros in cash. In last week's burglary, the culprits beat and strangled a 20-year-old woman, presumably so they would divulge where the family's cash and valuables were hidden, and they actually made off with 30,000 euros. And they also tied up her husband. The couple's 11-month-old child was unharmed. However, it is believed that she may have witnessed the violence, and the culprits also killed the family dog as well. So, and finally, a little bit of happy news. The Hellenic Society for the Protection of Nature announced the awards for the Blue Flag programme. And guess what? Zakynthos received 6 blue flags for the summer season. One is being awarded to the beach at Alicanaz. Another is being rewarded to the beach at Alikez. There's also been an award awarded to the beach at Gaki, which is actually where the Allianz Grand Hotel Resort is. Laguna, believe it or not, is getting 2 blue flags. And also the Macros Galos, which is near Silavi, they're also getting a blue flag as well. And the beach at Boca is also getting a flag, and that's up the north end of the island, close to Xania Beach. They're also getting a blue flag award as well. So there you go. Well done. It looks like we're very safe a place to come and travel and use our beaches. Anyway, right, let's have a quick look at some of the people that are tuning in this morning. Once again, big shout out to Peter Atkins. Nice to see you tuning in, big fella. Melissa Vickers is also tuning in as well. Melanie Thompson is tuning in. Alf Ling is watching. Heather Nash is watching as well. Julie Meldrum is watching as well. Thank you for that information on the cancellation of TUI holidays. At the moment, we're still not 100% sure what the hell TUI are doing at the moment. And I can tell you now, none of the TUI hotels that we know in this area at the moment are open. At the moment, they are still, shall we say, in a state of hibernation, obviously waiting to open like a flower when they get the go-ahead to start preparing. Anyway, Maria Heidelberg at the moment is tuning in from Sweden. Lovely to see you here, my lovely. Paul Green over there in the UK is watching as well. Peter Atkins said, Boris said yesterday nobody should be travelling to other countries for holidays. Yep, that's... he probably has said that, Peter. But the point is, at the moment... is he going to keep this draconian £5,000 rule, fine rule in place? He also said that people were able to travel, but again, they were going to be subject to quarantine on their return. So again, I think Boris needs to start clarifying what and what is not going to happen. First thing I think he should have done was he should have shut the airports down for flights coming in from countries where the Indian variant was, like Greece has done. Just stop those flights coming in, full stop, until that situation starts to heal itself. But at the moment, we are now getting very twitchy here now as to what is going to happen with the British market. Because again, it's not in our hands; it's in the hands of Boris Johnson, and also as well, we probably like to know whether yes or no you are going to come. So then, obviously, we can start making alternative plans here and be able to run with whatever tourism that we are going to be getting at the moment. Because at the moment, as I've said today, we've got one flight in today. We had one flight in yesterday. So far at the moment, very, very few tourists here at the moment, even from the nations that are allowed to come. But again, Boris, please stop this pissing about. Make a decision. Stop umming and ahhing and just say, I'm the boss, shut up you lot, I'm the man in charge, I will do what needs to be done, and grow a pair, mate. That's all I can say. You're not Churchill, you're nowhere near Churchill, trying to think you're Churchill. No, if you want to be like Churchill, he would have said, damn it, we're doing it, sod everybody else, let's get on with it. And that's the way that the Second World War was won. I would hate to have seen Boris in charge of the Second World War. We'd have been surrendering as soon as the Germans had entered Poland. Appeasement was the word, if you remember, with Britain at that time. Lord Halifax wanted to throw in the towel and say, oh no, let's do a deal with Hitler. But no, we didn't. We got rid of the Prime Minister that was running it then, who basically all he did was buy us time with his bit of paper. I'm trying to remember his name now and it's gone out of my head. But the point was this: there was appeasement, a strong appeasement within the cabinet of the British Parliament, of the British government at the time, for appeasement. And Churchill came in, listened to all sides and said, no, this is not going to wash. And we took the stand in. It was us virtually fighting the Germans on our own at the beginning. And the best thing that ever happened for Churchill was when the Japanese decided to bomb Pearl Harbor, and then Germany stupidly made the big mistake of declaring war on America, and Churchill breathed a massive sigh of relief, because it meant then that the Americans could now come into the war and fight on the side of the Allies against Germany, because they had declared war on America, whereas under international law, the Americans could only fight the Japanese, and that was it. And again, we were still with our backs to the wall at that time. But anyway, I digress. If you want to talk about COVID being a war, which seems to be the language that the government wants to use all the time, then let's start looking at our British history and start saying, right, when our backs were to the wall in 1939, when Poland was invaded, we honoured the treaties we had with Poland, France and everybody else. We sent our troops to Dunkirk, where we managed to get them away from Dunkirk. We turned a defeat into a victory, and we bided our time. And we got on with it. We didn't throw in the towel, all right? And that is the reason why Britain is still here today, all right? Anyway, I digress. Anyway, Melissa Vickers says, morning. When I called TUI last week, they didn't, the flights to commence. I'm not sure what you've written there, Melissa, but morning, when I called TUI last week, they didn't know the flight to commence from the 24th were due to fly out on the 8th of the 6th. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, told me. Sorry, just woke up. Oh, bless her. Trees Around Huggett is watching. Steve Hinkling says, Gallimera's sun out there this morning too. I'm sure it's hotter there, though. Have a nice day. So the sun is shining over there. Barbara Telford is watching. Maria Hallberg is watching. Good morning from sunny Sweden. Still prefer your view, though. Have a lovely day. Hey, listen, Sweden, when are you going to get here? Because at the end of the day, you've done all the right things as far as I'm concerned in the way you've handled the whole crisis. Your economy is still intact. And hopefully, I know your lot have a very short window for tourism here, but it'll be interesting to see if the Swedes are going to come to Greece as well this year. Hopefully, they will be. Mike Glattonley's watching. Nice to see you tuning in. Ian Booth is also watching as well. Lovely to have you tuning in as well, big fella. I hope you're on the mend and not laughing too hard so it hurts, all right? Alf Ling is watching. Heather Nash says, morning to you and Jane. It's a beautiful sunny morning here in Birmingham. Fantastic. Pete Nesbitt says, morning, Ginge. Hope you've been for a run this morning, at least 5 miles. Laugh out loud. Stay out of it. I was running in my dreams, mate. Running in my dreams. The days of getting up early in the morning, go running. I don't know. I don't have time, so I should make time, shouldn't I, really? Anyway, thank you for that, Pete. Make me feel guilty now. Julie White says they cancelled ours yesterday, said they're starting on the 7th of June. Well, if they're starting on the 7th of June, that is a positive. We're already in the 19th of May, so that gives us a bit more time to get organised. So let's hope that will happen on the 7th of June and they won't cancel. And like last year, where we didn't actually kick off until the 14th of July, which we don't want. We'd rather get back to work. We really want to know, because the thing is, we're all in a limbo. We don't know where we stand for employment. We don't know where we stand in the way of just getting on with things, to organise, being ready for people to arrive. Trust me, there's whole hotels here who are still busy making improvements, sorting things out, spending money that they can probably ill afford to spend, waiting for a decision to be made that, yeah, it's on. The Brits are coming. So we'll wait and see. Christine Brown is watching as well. Nice to have you tuning in. Paula Carterton is watching as well. Emma Marku is tuning in. Nice to have you looking in. Raina Pete Dillon is also watching in as well. Nice to see you. Paul Booty looking in as well. Shane Bowen says, Gallimera Ginge, nice to see you. Also, Dave Burns is looking there. He says Gallimera GC. GC, I like that. Janet Cooney is watching as well. Jane Mackay Gunn is also tuning in as well. David Lismore, morning Ginge from a wet Enfield. Hope you're all okay. Oh, they've got rain in Enfield. They got sun in Birmingham. Can you believe that? Ian Booth says, morning, Ginge. Julie Wright says, some sort of announcement coming from Brussels today as well. Thank you for that, Julie. I will keep my ear to the ground and have a look. I like that. Jane McGann Gunn says, stop pissing about. There you go. Thank you. I think she's talking to Boris there. Thank you for that. Jerry Coyle says, Clement Attlee. Thank you. Was it Clement Attlee? Was it Clement Attlee? All right, if you say so. The name... Clement Attlee. All right, fair enough. Yeah, all right. I hold in my hand a piece of paper. Yeah, for all it was worth. Yeah, there we go. He was buying time. Patsy Ann Dobson, good morning. Raining here in... Oh, it's raining in Margate. Bless them, bless them. Anyway, Neville Chamberlain. That was it. Neville Chamberlain. I knew we'd get the right name. It was Neville Chamberlain. Clement Attlee. When did Clement Attlee go? Anyway, we're all doing our history here now, English history. Sue Parkinson is watching as well. Sean Bowen, looking forward to your show later today. I'm looking forward to it as well. Can I just say thank you for the requests I've been given for this show coming up. People celebrating Leicester's victory in the FA Cup, other people celebrating other things. Also, Carol Bott, I've got your messages as well, and I will take great pleasure in reading those out as well this afternoon. 3 p.m. Live from Studio One here in Macardo. Requests and inspiration. Beautiful. I love doing that show because you tell me what to play, I play it, and I fill the gaps in with a little bit of my inspiration to help us on our way. The show, despite getting split in two halves last week because of problems with the internet, has charted at about number 62 in the reggae charts. I was quite pleased about that. And my last dance show has charted as well. That's charted in the trance and pop chart, and I'm really pleased about that because, again, because of problems with internet. It didn't save the playlist for me so that I could upload the playlist. But obviously, it's charted without a playlist attachment, so I'm quite chuffed about that. And I gotta say thank you to Sam Curtis for your help with some of the tunes in that show as well. They were greatly appreciated. Anyway, Yvonne Monroe is watching. She says, morning from a sunny Edinburgh. Edinburgh's got sun. Nice to see. Joe Bamford is watching as well. Stacey Johnson says, morning, Ginge. Bought my sun cream today. Feeling optimistic for July. Oh, bless you. Well, I hope you get a chance to spread it all over yourself when you come out here. What factor are you using? Is it factor 50, is it? Protecting your fair skin? Or is it a lighter factor? Or is it, we used to use coconut oil and vinegar when I was in Cyprus as a young man. And we used to have a man called Andy the Dobie Man. He was our cleaner man. He used to do the washing and stuff like that. And he would sell this coconut oil and vinegar. And you smelt like a chip. But by God, you look like a Pakistani. You certainly did. Anyway, Simon Greenlee remembers Andy the Dobie Man and his magical sun lotions. Nice to watch her. Gary Crowder is watching in as well. Nice to see you, Gary. Paul Markham is tuning in. Steve Hinkling is watching as well. Paul says, morning, Ginge. Right, that's it from me this morning. I've babbled on too long. Again, we're all waiting with bated breath to see what your man is going to do. Boris, we're talking about. Mitsotakis only just follows what Boris does, like about a week later. But anyway, just be aware for those people over here at the moment living on Zakynthos. Trust me, the police are out and about looking to book people, whether they're given a quota to follow or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I know yesterday they've been really busy around Sillavi booking people around there. All right. So once again, make sure you got your mask with you. Make sure. Is that Dean? Dean, listen, are you busy for a coffee, fella? And we'll meet up quickly this morning sometime in town and we'll go for a coffee and a quick chat. So get in touch with me, PM me, and we'll sort something out. I want to know how you've been getting on, fella. But anyway, listen, that's it from me. I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. Once again, if you've got any requests or dedications, just stick them in the below. Big shout out to Wiggy Winstanley over there in Limassol, the ambassador for Wigan over there. Wiggy, nice to see you on the mend, fella. Just to remind you, I forgot to mention this, last night we repeated the Northern Soul show on beatsradio.co.uk. We had some server issues, so it got another airing. I'm going to put that show up literally within the next half hour or an hour or so. Put that show up online so you can catch up on that, Wiggy, while you're lying. You get a big mention in that show as well. And Shane Bowen just said to me, a friend of mine used to use cooking oil for suntan oil. Trust me. Don't surprise me. Depends what cooking oil. It was coconut oil. At least it smelt a bit nicer. But the, what do you call it, Dean? He says, I got my biometric appointment at 12:15. Can hook up after that. I'll give you the full rundown. All right, then, Dean, we'll meet up in town. All right, fella? I'll private message you and we'll sort something out. Anyway, listen, I've got to go. I've got lots to do. It's a busy day today. We're broadcasting from Studio One and also just getting the news up and getting the news out to all the different sites that take it as well. So anyway, I'll catch you later. You take care. I'll keep my ear to the ground and have a nice day. Ta-ra.